Right now at noon, the investigation continues at Elver Park after a body is pulled from a pond. Plus, talks of a ceasefire in Gaza fall apart as Israel plans for a massive offensive on Hamas's last stronghold. This is News 3 Now at noon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Josh Spreiter. Right now, the Dane County Medical Examiner is working to identify a body found at a city park. Late Thursday afternoon, someone reported seeing a body floating in the Elver Park retention pond. Crews arrived and pulled the body of an adult out of the water. Police haven't released the person's name, age, or gender. They say the body was spotted about 10 yards from shore. We'll know more about what happened after the medical examiner finishes their report. No word on when that will be finished. Continuing coverage now on the pro-Palestine encampment on UW-Madison's campus. Ahead of graduation, student protesters are entering their 12th day camping out on Library Mall. They're calling for UW to cut all ties with Israel. Protesters tell us negotiations with the university administration continued yesterday. That followed Wednesday's meeting when professors and students walked out on UW officials. With graduation happening tomorrow, questions remain about what commencement weekend will look like.
Obviously, like a weird feeling walking past everything in like your grad dresses and your cap and gown and everything.
We definitely want our students to be able to celebrate, but we also want every student to be able to celebrate, and that includes students in Gaza who can no longer have an education.
Graduation is still scheduled for tomorrow. Madison Police and UWPD tell News 3 Now they don't have special plans for Saturday. They say the events will be staffed as if it were a football game in the fall, but that disruption of graduation activities will, quote, not be tolerated. CIA Director Bill Burns and negotiators for Israel and Hamas have all left Cairo, Egypt. This comes after ceasefire negotiations fell apart. Now Israel is planning a massive push into the southern Gaza city of Rafah. Natalie Brand reports the operation is moving ahead despite U.S. objections.
The latest round of ceasefire talks have wrapped up with no deal in sight.
How do you see this eventually ending?
It's sad because time is not on the side of the hostages. People are hoping there'd be a deal, and the United States is hoping, we're hoping there's a deal. Hostages, a pause. You know, that was our view in the United States, and now that is very much, under serious doubt right now.
The stalled negotiations raise the possibility of military action heating up in Rafah as the UN warns of a worsening humanitarian crisis in the southern Gaza city.
Around 100,000 Palestinians are moving north from Rafah, yet humanitarian partners have no tents or food stores left in South Gaza.
The UN's relief agency says aid workers are not seeing supplies coming in, with the Rafah crossing closed and Kerem Shalom crossing not functioning.
What we are seeing is people are scared, people are moving, and they're worried about what's coming for them in the future.
Israel has vowed to push ahead in Rafah. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke to Dr. Phil about the military operation.
We've destroyed about 20 battalions of the Hamas's 24 terrorist battalions. We have another 4 to go there in Rafah, and that's why we want to go into Rafah, because we can't leave them there.
Israel's military spokesman says the Biden administration's decision to withhold offensive weapons will not impact Israel's military plans in Rafah. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Israeli forces are said to have circled the eastern part of Rafah, with airstrikes on the city continuing. The UN says more than 100,000 Palestinian refugees have managed to make it out of Rafah. The First Warn weather team just adding an alert day for later. Meteorologist Savannah Burrito has a look at your certified most accurate forecast. Beautiful now, but it's later on that you're watching, Savannah.
Yes, Josh, that's exactly the case. It's actually kind of hot outside. I'm getting a little sweaty just standing out here with the sun beating down on me, but that sun, fuel for later in the day and those storms that we could see. We have added alert day-like conditions for later this evening. We're honing in on that 5 to 9 p.m. time frame, but temperatures out there warming up pretty quickly. We're already sitting at 65 in Madison, even warmer just to the northwest, 66. That's near Black River Falls. But like I said, we are forecasting alert day-like conditions. That cold front that did pass actually causing a chilly start to our morning, really fueling that warmer air, and that, like I said, key to some of those strong to severe thunderstorms that we could see later. So 5 to 9 p.m. later this evening, that's the time frame. Gusty winds is going to be our biggest threat. Can't also rule out we're going to see some heavy showers, but also maybe some smaller hail. That's also for all of southern Wisconsin, pretty much everywhere Madison, and especially west and northwest. Josh, we'll head back inside to talk about the radar and what that could look like a little later.
All right, Savannah, thank you. Unionized workers at Meriter Hospital could soon go on strike. According to SEIU Wisconsin's Facebook, union members held an informational picket yesterday to show management they're serious about stopping turnover and improving patient care. This isn't the first time Meriter workers have threatened to go on strike. In March of 2021, nurses announced plans to go on strike if they didn't get a better contract. They ultimately did. In a statement, Meriter says they're still in the bargaining process to get the union a new fair contract. It reads in part, quote, "We have a long history of successfully negotiating contracts with SEIU, and our goal is always to keep negotiations moving forward." They say the next bargaining date is set for Monday, May 13th. A first warn traffic update on a lane closure next week. The city of Madison says starting Monday, East Doty and West Wilson streets will be closed. MG&E will be out doing work in preparation for the Doty and Wilson Street reconstruction project. Doty will be limited to one travel lane until August 16th. Drivers will be limited to one eastbound lane from MLK Boulevard to King Street until then. Destination Madison wants you to think about local tourism. A survey out right now should only take about 10 minutes to complete. Destination Madison says it wants to ensure it has diverse perspectives for future initiatives, investments, and advocacy efforts. If you complete the survey and share Destination's emails, you'll be entered to win a Madison staycation package. That includes an overnight at the Concourse Hotel. You can take that survey at visitmadison.com/partners. Still ahead for us on this Friday afternoon, Hulu, Disney Plus, and Max joining forces, and how much the National Retail Federation is expecting Americans to spend on Mother's Day.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon. Moving forward.
Lock in the lowest prices ever at Ashley. Our Memorial Day sale brings you unbeatable discounts with price drops 3 years in the making. And special financing for 60 months. Save even more on clearance items store-wide. Only at Ashley.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With inflation rising at record levels and incomes not keeping pace, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
If you have Medicare and Medicaid, you may be eligible to get extra benefits with iCare's dual eligible special needs plans. Our members get $1,800 per year with a card that's loaded monthly to pay for items such as eligible groceries, over-the-counter items, rent, and utilities. Whatever you don't spend carries over each month. Call us today, and a licensed sales agent will help you find out if you're eligible. Rest easy. iCare is looking out for you and your health.
At DePaco, your health and happiness are as important to us as your financial well-being. So when retirement is on the horizon, we'll help ensure you're ready for your next adventure, providing you freedom to focus on what truly brings you joy. Well-being is the key to a life worth loving. So when you think about yours, remember that DePaco can help you be well.
The spring could just break. Precision is there to help.
We have fully stocked vehicles to fix any problem you have that same day, and we are all over the Madison area.
You're just one phone call away from getting your garage door fixed today.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Now, during the Memorial Day sale at Ashley, take up to $1,200 off on select Beauty Rest Black adjustable sets. Plus, get up to $300 in free furniture, 60 months 0% interest financing, and free delivery. Going on now at Ashley.
General Motors is saying goodbye to the Chevrolet Malibu, once its top-selling car in the U.S. The company says it will stop making the sedan at the end of the year to make room for electric vehicles. The model was first introduced in 1964 and won Motor Trend Car of the Year in 1997. The Kansas City plant that makes the vehicle will switch over to the Bolt and Cadillac XT4 next year. Hulu, Disney Plus, and Max are joining forces. The parent companies of the platforms, Disney and Warner Brothers, are launching a new streaming service that combines the three into one app. It will bundle content from multiple content providers, including CNN, FX, HBO, and Pixar. The companies say the service will launch this summer, though there are no details on exactly when or what the cost may be. And Americans are expected to spend more than $33 billion to celebrate Mother's Day on Sunday. That's according to the National Retail Federation. The retail trade group says the top three gifts for mom are flowers, greeting cards, and special outings. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Courtney Keeley.
And here's the stock report at the noon hour. The Dow is up 97 points, NASDAQ down 24 points, and the S&P 500 up 5. Our call for action volunteers are in the building taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. Remember, you can call for action at 608-270-2833 or submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call-for-action. Pam is watching today's egg prices straight ahead, and Savannah is tracking what the weekend looks like in the first warn forecast. Then later on Live at 4, a look at history's most infamous shipwreck and someone who's made the journey to see it.
Have your best summer ever with Bachman's Mother's Day Pool Sale. Save 25% off all in-stock above-ground radiant pools. Visit our showrooms in Madison and Brookfield and save.
Go ahead, relax. It's Bachman's.
When it comes to replacing or upgrading your windows and doors, you want to be confident about your decisions. With Pella Design Works, you can see what your home could look like before you buy. Black frame windows or white, vinyl, wood, or fiberglass. Bring your vision to life and rest assured it's the perfect style for your home. Right now, get 0% interest-free financing for up to 48 months when you order by May 31st. Set your free in-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Nobody kicks off festival season like Stoughton, because nobody runs a festival like Stoughton or crafts a festival like Stoughton. The fact is, nobody eats up a festival like Stoughton. The Sit Into My Festival in Stoughton starts May 17th.
Discover the joy of giving back with Habitat for Humanity and Habitat Restore of Dane County.
I love the cause. I love the people. I love helping the customer with their home projects.
It's a lot of fun, but made lasting friendships, and you get a sense of accomplishment.
Help build a brighter future. Volunteer today.
We had such a great experience with Empire, we would recommend it to anyone.
Real customers share their stories about Empire today.
As a matter of fact, we already have. Customer service and the personal touch is really where it's at. The quality, too, is important to us, and the quality of the flooring was great. I mean, we've had people come in our home and say, wow, this is really beautiful. Where'd you have it done? Empire.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today. Have your best summer ever with Bachman's Mother's Day Pool Sale. Save 25% off all in-stock above-ground radiant pools. Visit our showrooms in Madison and Brookfield and save.
Go ahead, relax. It's Bachman's.
Dealing with consumer issues can be time-consuming and stressful. Need help? News 3 Now comes to the rescue during Call for Action Week. Watch what happened when our Call for Action team stepped in on 2 difficult cases for local residents. Learn important strategies you can use to protect yourself and your money. Then pick up the phone at a special time to get help with your consumer dilemma. Call for Action Week starts Monday, only on News 3 Now. Moving forward for you.
The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Welcome back at noon. Let's check in now with Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report. Happy Friday, Pam.
Joshy, it's a beautiful one, too. It was a gorgeous sunrise this morning, and it looks like it's going to be a beautiful lunch hour, too. That's perfect. We're talking a little bit about weekend events, not necessarily this weekend, but next. Out in Muscadet, they're getting all lined up for the Muscadet Morel Mushroom Festival. That's going to be next weekend. Tom Nondorf, who is a veteran himself and a fellow that's been buying morel mushrooms in the area for some 14 years, says, looks like it's been a pretty good crop. He said, actually, the snow that we picked up back in January, remember that one, about the only one we picked up, helped our mushroom crop situation this year. And then the moisture this spring definitely assisted as well. He said right now he probably could have bought 300 to 400 pounds of morel mushrooms already, and they'll use every bit of them next weekend from 5 p.m. on Friday, the 17th of May, all day long, the 18th. If you never laid your lips on some morel mushrooms, Muscadet, Wisconsin will capture your attention. That comes up next weekend. We were talking about Mother's Day weekend. Obviously, agriculture is paying attention to Mother's Day and the investment you want to make. Like Josh Smith, he's a co-owner of Kopke's Greenhouse out in Oregon, and he said all week long they've seen about 1,000 people come through their greenhouse on pretty much a daily basis, shopping around for, just your own lawn and garden needs, but also for mom. He said they're anticipating that by the time Mother's Day weekend is all over, they will have sold over 100,000 plants just for the Mother's Day weekend. Hanging baskets still very, very popular. That's one of their top sellers. 4-inch potted plants also popular. And he said perennials are getting more and more enthusiasm from those giving gifts for mom. Or maybe they're just taking it home for themselves. Our greenhouses are busy. Just another one of those connections. Wisconsin Agriculture with the events that you are involved with and care about. I care about the World Ag Supply Demand Report today. We got it 11 o'clock today, 11:15. We got the world picture. 11 o'clock, we got the domestic picture. Let's just say corn and beans are flat, but the wheat market finding some enhanced value because Russia is dry. Pretty quiet on the dairy front. Barrel and block cheese, no change on a Friday. The AA butter down 0.75 cents at $2.99 a pound. Can you imagine that, Joshy? 1,000 people coming through your place of business every day for this week leading up to Mother's Day. 100,000 items, plants that they are going to. That's just busy. That's breakneck busy for our greenhouses and a lot of those folks that cater to that audience.
That is wild to keep up with that. People are nuts. We love it, though. All right, Pam. Thank you. You have a wonderful weekend.
You too, buddy.
Beloit residents have a chance to weigh in on the city's future. Beloit is coming up with its 20-year comprehensive plan, and they want to hear from you. There's an open house next Thursday at Beloit Public Library. The City Council is expected to vote on the plan in August. You can also offer your input online. We have a link to the story on channel3000.com. Mother's Day weekend upon us. Here's meteorologist Savannah Brito tracking an alert day forecast now, Savannah.
Yeah, Josh, thank you. The warm weather could be fuel for storms that develop later. That's going to be to the northwest. First, though, temperatures sitting at a mild 65 in Madison, 64 in Oregon, 63 in Belleville, 64 in Cross Plains. Outside, though, Dane County, we're tracking pretty similar conditions all across southern Wisconsin, lower to mid-60s. Few cooler areas, Sheboygan's at 56 only. The cooler spot was to our northwest. That's where we're going to see those storms develop. So that cold front allowing for chilly conditions early this morning, not the case anymore. Temperatures later this afternoon going to be pushing the 70-degree mark. I do think there's areas that are going to make it up to 70 degrees. But that warm weather, the sunshine we're seeing out there right now, that's going to be fuel for those storms later. So gusty winds, first and foremost, that's going to be the biggest threat. Although there will likely be several areas of heavy showers, it's going to be a line that kind of races across from northern Wisconsin through southern and then central and then southern Wisconsin. That's going to be for pretty much all of southern Wisconsin, 5 to 9 p.m. That's the time frame that we're really honing in on. That's going to develop as early as about 4:30 for places to our northwest, say around Black River Falls. That's going to eventually make its way to Madison and then out of here pretty quickly. So it's not going to affect all of your Friday evening, but the Storm Prediction Center with the midday afternoon update did place pretty much most of Wisconsin, or at least our viewing area, under a marginal risk. That's still lower level, and again, winds definitely definitely going to be the big threat that does come out of this. We're going to push for gusts up to about 30, 35, maybe even close to 40 miles per hour. That's outside of any severe weather alerts that we do see, warnings that could take place later. We're seeing a couple showers, storms bubble up. That's to our northwest, but eventually those are going to move in for southern Wisconsin. This is about 4:30, so not really seeing anything yet at that point in time, but quickly going to see that line of showers and storms further develop as they make its way closer to Madison. This is 6 p.m., so Wisconsin Dells still sitting northwest of that area, affecting La Crosse, Camp Douglas, Black River Falls, and then that main line makes its way to Madison, I would say between about 7:38. And then beyond that, we're looking at these storms quickly moving out of here between about 8:30 and 9. So that's when the threat of any storms is going to move out of here. But like I said, heavy rain is definitely going to be a big thing. It won't last long, but there will be pockets of heavy showers embedded in that line. The good news is, though, we are going to see conditions and clouds clear out pretty nicely, and that actually could allow us to see the northern lights both tonight and tomorrow. I still think tomorrow is going to be a better chance because we will see clear or mostly clear conditions. That's as we head into Saturday night, but might see them if you're heading especially north of here. That'll be the case then tonight, and then tomorrow temperatures really warming up. Sunday 77, and then as we get to your 10-day forecast, temperatures staying pretty mild through the next 10 days. Josh, all those days are above average.
Savannah, we want to wish you a welcome to News 3 Now. Your first day on the air, you'll be our regular morning meteorologist and filling in here on the noon from time to time. But welcome to the team. It's good to have you here.
I'm glad to be working the noon with you some days.
Yes, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, it will. Thank you.
We're looking forward to it. New at noon, decades of widespread hunting and habitat destruction took a toll on American crocodiles, but now Florida is seeing their numbers come back. Human-made canals are part of what's helping the crocs feel at home again. CBS's Christian Venenides has that story.
Biologist Mike Lorette is taking us to see the American crocodile at home in this network of canals south of Miami. Females typically lay their eggs in April and May before hatching in August.
So basically, we go out when the nesting season starts to see how many potential nests we might have.
During the summer, Lorette and his team take care of the hatchlings to ensure their survival. Not to be confused with alligators, distinguished by a different snout and teeth. The American crocodile has made a remarkable turnaround. Declared endangered in the 70s when their numbers dwindled to just a few hundred, the population in Florida is now more than 2,000 and growing.
This sort of came by happenstance.
Bill Orlove is a spokesperson for the state's largest energy provider, Florida Power and Light. It dug out these canals to cool the Turkey Point nuclear generating station, creating long, thin, elevated berms.
This property is 11,000 acres with 168 linear miles of cooling canals.
The crocs moved here to lay their eggs as warmer temperatures and development destroyed their habitat elsewhere. Now a team of biologists hired by FPL looks after the canals and the crocs.
It's a sanctuary for them. They're safe here. We have one of the most concentrated nesting areas for American crocodiles in Florida and the United States.
40 years into the program, the American crocodile has found a place to thrive. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Homestead, Florida.
Biologists say in 2021, the FPL program had its largest number of hatchlings, taking more than 500 baby crocs. This year is also looking promising. Next at noon, Howard's working in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
What's the best thing we can do for Mom this Mother's Day? We've got the inside scoop.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Get an 11% rebate on everything for your next project at Menards. Dutch Boy Exterior Stain and Sealer provides one-coat protection and repels rain in 4 hours, saving you time and money. A gallon is $31.99 plus 11% rebate. Finish your wood projects with Cabot Australian Timber Oil. It's perfect for deck, siding, and outdoor furniture and provides maximum penetration and water repellency. A gallon is $49.98 plus 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
You think Atlanta's point guard is good for 20 tonight? No question. the hell he got name dropped on that new song? He feeling himself for sure.
Ever since that track drop, he been on fire.
The hook literally says his name 8 times in a row. He might go for 30.
With that much hype, I'd lock it in. But that's just me.
Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Cash in on your sports fandom with Prize Picks.
Clean, safe, fun. I was hoping daytime care for Mom would be like that. Grace's new center is so nice. Now, caring for Mom is so much easier.
It's easier to manage my chemo side effects since Grace Supportive Care came to see me. It was a Grace, but it wasn't hospice.
When you're ready for hospice, you want a Grace. They helped make my dad's last weeks comfortable, calm. It was beautiful.
A Grace, caring every step of the way.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With inflation rising at record levels and incomes not keeping pace, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
Hey, I want to remind you that this weekend is Mother's Day. So if you haven't had a chance to get a card or make plans for your mom or any mom in your life, we have an idea that'll make her light up. You know, for most moms, it's more meaningful that you call or be with her on Sunday than anything else. And rather than getting her some gift just to get her something, what do you say I show you how to whip up a special breakfast that's filled with TLC? All we do is mix together a good amount of pancake mix with a couple of eggs, milk, club soda, and vegetable oil. You see, the bubbles in the club soda will make this light and fluffy. Now we pour this into muffin cups and top each with some fresh fruit. Here we're using blueberries in some and cut up apples in others. Once they're filled, we pop them in the oven and bake them for 25 minutes or until they pass the toothpick test. When they're done, we top them with some pancake syrup to make them even more to die for. So here's what I suggest. Go online and get the recipe for our fruity pancake muffins so you'll be able to treat Mom extra special this Sunday. And while you're making them, don't forget to add in your own TLC. That's tender loving care. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a very special way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. Happy Mother's Day.
Savannah, as a final check of your first warned weather, the chance for severe storms later, Savannah?
Yes, Josh, that's exactly the case. That sunshine you're seeing behind me could actually be fuel for storms, maybe even strong to severe storms that are going to develop to our northwest later. 5 to 9 p.m. That's the time frame we're calling for all of southern Wisconsin. Gusty winds first and foremost. That's the biggest threat, but yes, we will see downpours, heavy showers, maybe even some small hail. The Storm Prediction Center about 11:30 did place most of southern Wisconsin, or at least our DMA viewing area, under a low-level marginal risk that is going to develop. Already seeing some of those showers and storms bubble up kind of near Rhineland, or at least west of that area. Those are going to quickly race in across southern Wisconsin, though, making its way to the Dells by about 7:38 for Madison as well. So that's what we're going to see. Not going to be a complete washout or affect all of your Friday, but alert day conditions possible. And then temperatures warm up 77. How about that for Mother's Day, Josh?
All right, Savannah, thank you. And again, welcome to the team.
Thank
Have
you.
a great afternoon, everyone. Happy Mother's Day to all the mom figures out there.